Hello and welcome to Alula's Interlogix UltraSync webinar. Today we'll be talking about the next steps you can take to transition your business to a new platform. My name is Kevin Hoffman. I'm the Content Marketing Manager for Alula, and we will be talking about several key topics today. First, I'm going to introduce you to Alula. We'll talk about transitioning from the UltraSync platform. We'll look at the Alula Platform. We'll talk a little bit about Alula's interactive services. We'll speak about how to onboard to Alula quickly and efficiently. And we'll also share some news about our Interlogix Rescue Rebate. And of course, as always, we will hold plenty of time at the end for your questions and answers. First, let's meet our presenters. We've got Adam Larson, a sales engineer from Alula. He's an expert at onboarding and trading new customers on Alula's interactive services, and he formerly worked at Alarm.com. Welcome to the webinar, Adam.
Good to be here, Kevin. Thank you.
And next, he's a name and face that's familiar to you longtime webinar listeners. His name is Dave Main. He's our VP of Product Management. He was the Vice President of Residential Marketing for GE Security, and he worked at GE Security for 6 years, from 1999 to 2005. So he's very familiar with their product line. Thanks for coming back again, Dave.
Thanks for having me, and looking forward to the conversation.
Excellent. Dave, why don't you start us out by telling us a little bit about Alula?
Sure, happy to. So Alula might be a new brand to many people participating in the webinar today. The brand itself is about 2 years old, but the company came through the merger or acquisition of two companies, IP Datatel out of Houston, Texas, and Resolution Products out of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. We are a vertically integrated provider of services and products to the professional security industry. So over on the right, kind of walking through that diagram, we're focused on IoT, Internet of Things connectivity, specifically around security and life safety service offerings, and we bring the combination of security, automation, and video services together in an integrated app and platform for professional dealers, mostly across North America. What makes our platform unique is first off, we're encrypted end-to-end. Every sensor, every device inside of our control panels, all the communications up to our platform are 100% encrypted. We focus on being able to not only install and deliver services around our own products, but we make a number of products that many of you might be familiar with, translators for taking over sensors, if you're doing an installation, as well as communicators that can connect up to other people's panels. So we focus on bringing interactive services no matter what type of equipment you're installing and keeping your costs low. We have mobile devices that provide interactive controls. We also deliver multiple paths of connectivity. So whether it's over a cellular connection that many might be using on the call today, or IP connections. Broadband is ubiquitous, and we can communicate over Ethernet or Wi-Fi as well as cellular networks and have seamless transition. And we have an open platform with published APIs allowing us to provide integration with other IoT systems in the marketplace. So the brand is new, the acquisition is relatively new, but both companies had been in the industry for well over 10 years. We focus on innovation, and we have a culture of listening. I own the roadmap here. I handle product management, and our roadmap is largely defined based on conversations we have with you, our partners, and our dealers. Even if you're not on our platform, I often hear from people saying, oh, I really like this about some other product or service that you're installing. We like to hear from you. We like to take that information and drive that forward. We do business with about 3,500 dealers and have hundreds of thousands of devices on our network and continuing to grow.
That's a great overview, Dave. And to your point, we have heard a lot of feedback from the market around UltraSync in the wake of the Interlogix news that they'll be shutting down. So we decided to do this special webinar to really look at this UltraSync product and how it might match up to a go-forward solution. So Dave, why don't you give us a kind of an overview of UltraSync and what they did well?
Yeah, I've been talking to a number of dealers who've been installing UltraSync or taking a look at it, and I'm going to talk about a few things that stood out to me. But again, as we have the Q&A, as Kevin mentioned at the end, I'm open to having a discussion about other features that jumped out to you when you were using this product. But the feedback we had is, number one, it's very responsive. UltraSync was a unique architecture. You'd log really directly into the hub itself, and then all of the status information was presented into your app, which made it a very quick and fast responsive system. It was fairly easy to install and configure. Because you're logged directly into the panel, making changes to settings was quick and efficient, and you could repeat that. It was really built for builder programs where you're doing the same type of install in every home. The modularity of the cellular card was attractive. It's a small card that plugged into the back. Antenna installation might have been a little bit of a question mark, as I understand, but overall, the fact that you could replace that card made it attractive for sunsets, and you also had multipath communications, IP and cellular, similar to what we do here at Alula. And then there was a cost-effective recurring revenue model, especially for builder programs, because a lot of the services were enabled just through a direct login to the panel. It made it cost-effective. So these are four things that jump out in conversations I've had with dealers. Again, there's probably a half a dozen others, but happy to address any other key features you had in the Q&A session if something really stood out to make your business different.
Absolutely. And the thing that occurred to me, Dave, when I was looking at this list is it reminds me a lot of another product, that being our Connect Plus system. So why don't you talk about how we match up?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Adam's going to spend more time going over the details of Connect Plus, but I think the Alula platform overall is known to be very responsive. We have always-on connections. We go over both broadband or cellular connections, and independent of the communication path, we have a very responsive system, typically sub-second response on commands, and that's something that we continue to take pride in as a differentiator in the marketplace. We also focused on keeping total cost of ownership low. And total cost of ownership is not only the purchase of the equipment, but it's making it very quick and fast and easy to install and install without any errors. And then an ability to remotely service the system. So we have platforms that allow you to remotely log in. You can change user codes. You can add and delete devices without having to roll a truck. So our focus is on keeping costs low, and we even have it set up where you can have a no-tools installation. We have high-bond double-back tape on a number of our sensors. The platform itself is a hub which can be installed, plugged into Ethernet, plugged into power, and it's up and running. So we keep this very, very cost-effective from an installation standpoint, and it's built to be modular. Only pay for the technology that really matters to you and the way that you go to market, and you could have a little different configuration for different segments of your market. And again, Adam's going to go into details, but I think as you learn more about the Connect Plus platform, you're going to find that many elements of this carry over into good alignment with UltraSync. I think you're going to find better RF performance. You're going to find better modularity and capabilities, but overall a very similar approach to bringing a product into the marketplace.
Yeah, and you touched on that modularity. That's a key proposition when it comes to the Connect Plus. Adam, I'm going to bring you in. Why don't you walk me through modularity and why it's important when it comes to the Connect Plus hub?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So as far as modularity, as Dave mentioned, it gives you the ability to be flexible and incorporate the different scenarios of pieces of hardware into your offering. So the Connect Plus hub starts with, as you see it there, it has an onboard Ethernet port. So it allows you to go IP only for that subset of customers that only needs the IP communication. There are 3 different slots within the Connect Plus hub. So within those slots, you can use what we call expansion cards. So this is where you're adding pieces to your offering. One of those cards can be a cellular module where you add the cell service for the dual path communication with cellular and IP. You can also add Z-Wave translator card, which gives you the Z-Wave home automation control. So you can install lights, locks, thermostats, add that RMR to your offering with the home automation piece. The translator card allows you to take over other wireless sensors. So if you have GE 319 sensors that are already in an install, you can utilize that translator card to utilize those existing wireless sensors to take over the system. You can also add a 7-inch touchpad for those customers those probably high-end customers that want to have a 7-inch touchscreen in your home. So this differs from competition in the marketplace, where you're going to see them coming to market with everything hard bundled in. What the modularity does is it allows you to keep those, as Dave talked about with the total cost of ownership, keep those creation costs low on the front end by only offering what's needed for that particular customer.
Thanks, Adam. We talked a bit about how Connect Plus matches up to UltraSync, but maybe you could talk about how Alula is differentiated from the other providers in the marketplace.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So as we get into the platform differentiation for Alula, one of the first things that you'll see in the front and center there is our mobile app. So you'll see how we do a really good job of bringing the most important devices to the forefront with a customizable dashboard for the end user. So depending on what they have installed in their system, so if they have a doorbell camera, really any video camera for that matter, they have some automation, lights, locks, thermostats, and then security sensors as far as if they want to see the status of particular sensors right on their main dashboard when they log in. We allow the user to fully customize that offering and see kind of bring the most important devices on their system right to the forefront. So less clicks to get to the most important devices. In the upper left, see the consistent user experience from our mobile app to the touchpad. I think this is a big one. We're a vertically integrated company, as Dave mentioned previously. It allows us to keep that user experience from the mobile app to the 7-inch touchscreen consistent. This helps with training for your technicians. This helps with training the end user, getting them comfortable with the system in a more efficient manner. Multipath communication, IP-first solution. So really every product that we have is going to have multiple communication paths if you choose to do so. There's going to come with IP on board with the Ethernet port for Connect Plus, and then you can add, that modularity allows you to add cellular communication as a backup if needed. And those commands are going to be lightning fast. You're not going to see a platform in the industry that's going to have faster commands than what we have here at Alula. As we go up to the upper right-hand corner, as Dave mentioned, the no tools installation. So installation really is a breeze. Whether you're doing it from our mobile-friendly, in the field with our mobile-friendly partner portal, or kind of remote troubleshooting installation from a desktop, it's a seamless transition either way. And then the modularity of the Connect Plus allows you to add home automation on every install. You can add the Alula video offering, which we haven't talked about here, but we do have a doorbell camera and a couple indoor cameras and an outdoor camera that allows you to really offer a full service solution for your customers and increase RMR for your bottom line.
Excellent. Adam, I know that you've got deep experience in interactive services in this industry with one of your previous employers. Maybe you could walk us through and talk a little bit about what Alula's interactive services look like and what the app functions like and why it's designed the way it is.
Sure, yeah. So everybody knows that the mobile app is a big piece. The end user experience has to be excellent, right? So here you'll take a look at what the Alula mobile interface looks like for the end user and some of the key features that come along with it. So right in the middle, you have the customizable dashboard. So this again shows kind of what that looks like from perspective. You have the Army bar up top, and then depending on what they have on their system, video, automation, sensors. The user can customize that and pick which devices they want to see right when they log in. They can get to all the other devices deeper into the app on the different pages, but it allows them to bring those most important devices right to the forefront, less clicks to get to them. Along with that, the customizable dashboard, we also allow them to do what we call groups. So this allows the user to define areas of their home and devices within that area of the home so that they can easily navigate to the devices within those certain segments of a home. So if you have a porch area or a foyer area, you can have your lighting controls for those groups or placed into those groups and any devices within that area placed into those groups. Managing multiple locations. So this has to be easy. If you have a customer that has multiple locations, it's got to be easy to be able to get to both systems or those multiple systems rather than logging out, logging in with new credentials. So within the Alula interface, there's a drop-down right at the top of the mobile app that allows the user to easily toggle between multiple systems. If they have their residence and then they have a second home or a small business that they want to check in on, they can utilize one login to manage both of those. And then managing users and devices. You want to be able to do everything really from the mobile application. You don't want it to bounce around between different sites to manage users and then really kind of live your everyday life within the mobile app. So we're a mobile-first company. We believe everything should be brought right into the mobile app for the end user. So managing sub-users, adding, deleting, modifying permission levels, get pretty granular on what those permissions can be. So your kids can have different permission levels than you. If you have a contractor or something like that you need to get login to our employees, you can restrict and grant access in a pretty efficient manner right from the mobile app.
Yeah, and you described this as a mobile-first company. I want to put a fine point on that because there could be some confusion. A lot of providers in this industry are either providing the hardware or the interactive services. You're going to two different places to get that full experience. One of the things that's different about Alula is we're providing both of those. We're vertically integrated, so we're providing the hardware and the back end, the interactive services. Adam, how does that end up making a difference for our customers?
Yeah, I think being vertically integrated allows us to really control the user experience, like I said, from the mobile app to the 7-inch touchscreen, make sure that that's consistent. If you look at elsewhere within the competition, the mobile app is going to look different than the panel. It's one user experience for the end user. Also innovation, right? As we innovated, since we're vertically integrated, we're building the hardware and the software. We're building stuff that works cohesively together. So we're going to be able to innovate and bring new features and functionality to the market faster because of that vertical integration.
That's absolutely right. And speaking of innovation, one of the things we recently launched, you touched on it earlier, was Alula Connect. Maybe you could talk a little bit about how that's changing the game for installers out there.
Yeah, so Alula Connect is our new partner portal, and this is giving you some screenshots of what that looks like. It's really kind of the back-end functionality for your teams when you're an Alula partner. So yeah, we're pretty proud of it. It brings a great experience from a desktop to mobile, so it's really ready for your back office team, to your technicians in the field, regardless of what device they're on. You're going to have that experience to be able to utilize it for installations, utilize it for remote troubleshooting. And then one thing that we've also rolled out is a reporting dashboard as we build out our kind of reporting capabilities. It allows you to manage and track performance of how you're performing on the Alula platform and give you insight into your business.
Yeah, I love that data capabilities, what you can see in that screenshot. You can actually see what devices you have out there in the field. Really gives you that holistic view of all of your accounts. So that's absolutely a benefit to helping you grow your business. Dave, we talked a little bit about UltraSync and how Alula measures up there, but Alula is so much more than that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things Alula offers that UltraSync didn't offer or that others aren't able to offer?
Yeah, and hopefully that jumped out in the discussions with Adam. But, things that I like to highlight, first off, we have a brand new 7-inch touchscreen. We use it on our Connect Plus panel, as Adam just kind of outlined there. You're going to find in a second that we use this even when we connect to other people's systems. We're vertically integrated, but we're also innovative. We work to drive the values that we have as a company into your company so that you can bring those same values to your customers. Consistent user interface we see as key. It keeps your training costs down, it keeps your support costs down, and it gives the best natural experience to your customers. Anybody using UltraSync there's many great features and many great capabilities that they offered, but a touchscreen is something that the competition is offering, your competition is offering, and the consumers expect and demand. And so we have an ability to add that, and you can do it as a core feature or as an upsell because of our modularity. Cellular technology, you're always trying to keep pace with. We're all facing a sunset, yet another sunset. And I know that that's a cost and a burden to everybody that's on this call and to the industry as a whole. And cell carriers are always motivated to go to the latest and greatest technology, not because of all of the connected security systems or automation systems, but because they want to bring more streaming bandwidth and more streaming data usage to their cell phone customers or their mobile device customers. So there's a motivation for the carriers to switch to new networks. As it turns out, we don't use a lot of data in our industry. There's a technology called CAT-M or CAT-M1, which we've implemented in the Connect Plus and in our BAT Connect product that we're going to talk about shortly. This is the latest cellular technology. It's lower bandwidth than the full-on LTE. It operates on the LTE network, but it's also defined as the IoT communication path for 5G. So between using broadband connectivity, core to every one of our products, and CAT-M1 technology, we're really making this product sunset-proof so you don't have to roll a truck, again, keeping your ownership costs low. And then one final bullet, and I apologize in advance for kind of the reading of this. I don't like to disparage any of our competitors. Everybody does things a little different way. But UltraSync's claim to fame was that you could kind of log into that panel so you could get fast response and they could keep costs low. And while that's an interesting technology feature, it does open up that home network to some exposure on a portal that could be remotely accessible. So we do everything where you cloud connect, which is similar to how other interactive providers approach this industry. We encrypt everything. We have VPN connections down to our carriers, whether it's AT&T or Verizon. And we ensure that we authenticate everybody logging in and encrypt all of the data coming in and out. We still maintain an active connection for the fast response time, but we don't expose the customer to a portal that can be remotely accessible, which is just something that we try to, we believe is a bit of a security risk. So we bring the benefits of speed without necessarily the exposure that might exist on some other systems.
That's right, Dave. That's something we take very seriously here at Alula is security. We like to go above and beyond and be completely locked down. We know others may not be quite as fanatical as we are in that regard, but we ultimately think that that's the way the industry should go. Dave, you mentioned BAT Connect, you mentioned Connect Plus, but what's really cool about this is it's just two different roads that drive you to the same place.
Yeah, and Kevin, you know this. We're all excited about the fact that what you're hearing about is Alula's interactive offering. Adam kind of walked through the app and the benefits that we have there, from groups to customizable dashboards. We've talked about our 7-inch touchscreen and the slim design, which can be wall or desk mounted. We built in a power supply to make it easy to reutilize wiring that exists in the walls already if you're doing a takeover or replacing a traditional architecture system. And you think, oh, yeah, that's easy to do because that product just talks to your panel so you can make the communication to the panel. consistent, but we use that same user interface and allow it to connect to other people's systems. So BAT Connect and Connect XT over in the lower right corner are two products. BAT Connect will bus connect to virtually any system in the market, Honeywell Vista, DSC Power Series, the Interlogix NX Concord, and ultimately NAPCO. Some of these are coming over the course of the next couple of months. It will bus connect to those, and if we can't bus connect, we can also connect over tip and ring, a phone connection, and then do key switch arming, all coming back to the same app and user experience that we just walked through. And you can add in a Z-Wave card for automation to any of those panels. And by the way, we also have Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and cellular on that device, so we can use the Wi-Fi to create a network and have our touchpads join. So now you can replace a keypad with that 7-inch touchscreen and not only address sunset issues, but totally upgrade that security system. So we believe there's value in the consistent user interface. We bring it not only to our products, but we bring it when we connect to other people's systems. Connect XT is a new communicator we're launching in December, which actually will fit right into a Simon XT or XTI platform. And anybody facing sunsets on those systems, you'll now have an ability to bring those right over to the Alula network and have that same user experience using that Cat M1 technology that I just discussed. So while we are vertically integrated, we like to use our own platform. We recognize that nobody's platform works in absolutely every installation, but we want to bring the value of our interactive service to all, and so we're expanding the way that you can connect up to that to our cloud.
Thanks, Dave. And what that really means is that you're able to make Alula core to your business. You can use this for any kind of installation you may run across, whether it is upgrading previous accounts, taking over somebody else's account, or a net new install. Adam, so if someone is looking to bring their business to the Alula platform, why don't you talk a little bit about what that will do to their bottom line?
Yeah, so we've mentioned total cost of ownership a couple of times. Really, what does that really mean? So this slide, I think, outlines some key points that the Alula platform, partnering with Alula, can help bring that total cost of ownership down. So the equipment modularity with the Connect Plus allows our partners to lower their creation costs on the front end compared to some other providers out there. So that's going to come on the front end. That modularity, depending on what the customer needs, you're able to install those pieces and give that customer that functionality and only that functionality, and then upsell them later down the line when that time comes. No activation fees ever on the Alula platform. We're not going to nickel and dime you with activation fees. And our simple IP first service bundle helps keep money in your pocket. So what does that mean? So we have a variety of different service plans. So you can do IP only. You can do IP and cellular, depending on the needs of you and your customer. We give you the ability to choose what works best for you. The best-in-class hardware combined with our platform. So we've got a long history on both the hardware and the software side, and what that does is it allows that reliability, allows for a fast, error-free onboarding, bringing on accounts, and then the error-free, fast installation when you're putting those systems in. The remote firmware upgrades. So this is one of the benefits of the vertical integration that we've talked about. But remote firmware upgrades allow us to deliver the most advanced technology, and as we innovate and bring more features and functionality to the market, everything is remotely upgradable via remote firmware upgrades. So you don't necessarily need to roll a truck to offer a customer a new feature. You can give them a call, ask them if they want it, and then that's going to increase your RMR. And then finally, our advanced partner portal, which we touched on, really has great remote troubleshooting capabilities, which will help keep unnecessary truck rolls low and help lower your service costs. So all of that combined is really how the Alula platform delivers a low total cost of ownership compared to the competition.
Thanks, Adam. Let's really take a closer look at that third bullet point. I know it's close to your own heart, the onboarding. Can you tell us a little bit about what that cadence looks like when someone first comes on board as a partner?
Yeah, so I think it even starts before they come on board as a partner. So when you're looking at a partner for hardware and software, you want to work with somebody that's going to invest in you and take time to work through, make sure it's the right fit, and then have ongoing support through kind of initial launch and then post-launch even more so. So kind of the first step as you're looking at coming on board as an Alula partner would be to evaluate the Alula interactive platform. So you'd work with your rep along with our customer success team. We'd walk you through the ins and outs of the platform, the hardware and software capabilities. Make sure you really understand it as you kind of take it through an initial evaluation. From there, you'll get access to our enablement tools. So we have a wide range of enablement tools for our partners. We've talked about a couple of them with our partner portal, but we also have a marketing portal where you're going to have a plethora of marketing tools and images, etc. And there's a few other, there's training videos and other tools that will provide access to. Along with that will be some focused education. So training is where you're really going to get in the weeds and train all facets and departments of your team. So talking sales, account creation, administration, field installation, remote troubleshooting, end user functionality. So all of these are different trainings where there's going to be some ins and outs that are different for each specific segment. So the training is going to be focused for those particular teams. From there, you'll go into a successful launch with the Alula platform. That your team will be with you every step of the way. Your rep will be in constant contact with you. Your customer success rep will be working alongside with you, and that leads into the continuing education and support. So once you launch, that's when things really get going. You're going to be constantly checking in with your rep is going to constantly be checking in with you along with your customer success team, doing weekly, monthly calls, making sure that you're keeping track of progress, provide release updates as we innovate and come out with new features and functionality, and doing that ongoing education to make sure that you and your teams know exactly what's going on with the Alula platform, how you can and how it can benefit you going forward.
That's a great overview, Adam. Thank you. What you're seeing there is Alula's high-touch, white-glove service. We are 100% partner-focused. We don't win unless you win, so we are as invested in you as you are in us, and we are here to partner with you and make your business grow and succeed. To that end, we know that a lot of you were surprised by the Interlogix news. You may not have expected to make that kind of an outlay at this time of year. So we've done something to help you guys out. Dave, why don't you tell everybody about our rescue rebate?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. And again, I think a lot of this comes down, first off, just get an understanding of the Connect Plus platform that we have. A lot of capabilities we walk through. There's modularity. There's things that you're going to be interested in, but it's going to come down to what does this really cost? What does it look like? Well, first off, our Connect Plus panel, the base system, typical dealer price is $99. We're running a promotion which puts it down to $80 through the end of Q1. And now we're adding an additional rebate for anybody who's coming off of the Interlogix offering. Whatever product you're using at Interlogix brings you down to a cost of $54 for your base panel, which is great. That's the hub itself, But let's look at what it would look like if I want to add cellular and Z-Wave and maybe even a touchpad. The next two columns really break that down to say, okay, we're currently running a full Ethernet plus cellular plus a device link card, which is what supports adding touchpads to the panel for under $150. After rebate, that's down to $114 for Interlogix dealers. And if you want to add a touchpad, $229. Again, very competitive. We're going to have long-range RF performance. The background of this entire company is a lot of people that came out of a company called ITI, which was really the predecessor for Interlogix. And in the day, we focused on high-performing wireless technology. The industry as a whole kind of lost that. It's coming back with a couple of manufacturers now. We're in the mix with those manufacturers having long-range RF performance, keeping service costs down. So we're offering these rebates. The rebates go up depending on which package you have. These are available at really, any of the distributors you likely buy from, and we'd be happy to work with you to do that, and just let us know where you're at, and we'll make sure that those branches are up and ready to take on your business. One product we didn't put in here is our Connect Plus, which again is under $100, and we'll offer rebates on that as well if you're coming over and putting this on a Concord or NX panel as an example, or a Simon panel. So we have other products not listed in here. In all cases, we're trying to make sure that we can help you ease the transition to a new offering, and we will stand up and help you train and get your techs up to speed, and then offer support and make sure that you're successful in transitioning to a new product and a new service offering.
Yeah, you can find all the details around that program at alula.net/resources/Interlogix-rebate. I'll be putting that link in the comments. You can just go ahead and click through and sign up that way. Coming to the end, thank you so much, Dave and Adam. This has been a very informative presentation. I'm sure those of us who are joining us who are UltraSync installers are especially thankful. Some of them, it appears, have some questions we may not have touched on. Dave and Adam, are you able to hang out for a few minutes and answer a few questions from the audience?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it.
Great. Thank you, guys. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We've got a lot of great questions, but we can always use more, and we are committed to answering all of them. So please go ahead and get your questions in now. We'll be rolling through them. Dave, you with me?
I'm here.
Okay, let's just start from the top. Jesse's got a question. He says, so with Connect Plus, can I get it IP only, not with cellular, and then will it be cheaper?
Great question, and yeah, that's one of the benefits of the modularity. We lead with IP. We kind of coined the industry's. I started with a $100 addiction. It's really more of a $300 addiction to cellular. Cellular came into vogue because IP wasn't ubiquitous across all homes early on in the days of interactive services, and then there was concern over reliability of it. It's become extremely reliable, especially the physical connection. You save on the hardware costs. That's the $100 addiction where you pay typically for a cell card. But then you have ongoing additional costs for recurring services that are unnecessary, which over the course of a life of a contract at 1% attrition, that's roughly a 7-year life on a contract, it's going to cost you another couple $100 over the life of that contract with any of the interactive providers. So it's significant savings. It's a benefit. You can do IP only. We have people, you say, okay, well, what happens if the broadband goes out? Well, first off, you get notification of it both to the customer and to the central station. Secondarily, it's pretty easy to put a little UPS on, and it's valuable to do that anyway on a lot of these devices, and that's a pretty cheap way to go if you want to back up the router and other components. So you definitely can do that. Happy to work with you on it.
Great. Adam, you with me?
Yeah, Kevin, I'm here.
Great. Jesse has another question. It's a bit technical. Hopefully you can help him out. He's asking, I'm also wondering about a module for DSC HS2032 panel that would give the customer interaction with panel. Maybe Connect Plus will work with the DSC Neo panels?
Yeah, good question. So I think what Jesse's asking about is the back connect universal communicator and whether it works with DSC Neo panels. For full interactive capabilities, it's not work with DSC Neo. If that board has a tip and ring connection and reports contact ID, you can certainly use it for alarm communication, alarm signaling to your central station. The back connect is compatible with quite a few other Power Series panels, starting with the Power 432, Power 632, Power 832, 864, and then the PC 1616, 1832, and 1864. With those panels, you have the full interactive experience with the Alula app. However, with the Neo, you would need it connected with tip and ring and have the alarm communication only.
Yeah, you just mentioned the Back Connect. We've got an entire, it's relatively new product. It is the next generation of the BAT LTE that some of you are familiar with. It's the same price, and it's got so many more capabilities. So it's really like going from the iPhone 8 to the iPhone 11 in one generation. So if you're thinking about buying a BAT LTE, you really might as well just buy that Back Connect. It's going to be so much better for your customer and for your business. And as I mentioned with Back Connect, we've got entire webinars devoted to that. I just put a link to our webinar archive in the chat box. Please feel free to click through there. Look at the Back Connect specific webinars. If you've got additional questions, you can always reach out to us at 1-888-88-ALULA. Questions still coming in. Keep them coming. We're going to get to all of them. Coming back to you, Dave. Question is, I know some UltraSync dealers worked with apartment management software. It was integrated into the software platform. Is there a way to integrate other software with the Alula Connect family platform?
Yeah, well, I asked that question, so I get to answer it. And I only brought it up. I'm dealing with a couple of people, and apparently because of the IP connectivity of UltraSync, there was some integration with software. Wanted to make it clear, we do have a published API. We integrate with a number of different third parties. We just announced a partnership in the access control world with Brevo last week or the week before, where we can bring intrusion signals to them. We're looking at the apartment management software. I don't know if it's one version or multiple, but I want to highlight that we're very open to that integration, and we have the tools available to help make those types of things happen. We are IP connected as well. We have the published APIs, and they get access to all information, not only alarm signals, but the ability to load account information into our network through the APIs, even program the panels. Anything we do on our platform is done with the APIs, whether it's our Alula Connect platform or the app. So anything you see us do, they'll be able to do, and we'll work with them to make that happen.
Excellent. Adam, William has a very short and sweet question. Question is Alula UL listed?
Yeah, and I have a short and sweet answer. So the answer is that yes, we're fully UL compliant with Connect Plus panel.
Excellent. Very efficient. Next question comes to us from Dennis. I'm going to stay with you on this one, Adam. Dennis is asking, how will this affect my using Interlogix direct cellular services? Right now, we pay them directly, and they think it will continue under another hat. What have you heard? What's the go-forward plan for these UltraSync customers out there, Adam?
Yeah, so I can't speak to if it will continue under another hat. If you make the transition over to the Alula platform, the billing would then come through us. So that would be a totally separate cellular services from the UltraSync platform under Interlogix to the Alula platform with Connect Plus and Back Connect offerings. So it'd be a separate billing process. You'd switch over from UltraSync to Alula.
Yeah, and what Dennis is really getting at there is there's a lot of unknowns right now around this Interlogix issue. There's a lot of people out there looking for answers. and they're not exactly sure how it's all going to shake out. We think this is a great time for you to switch to a new partner who will continue to be doing business in 2020 and who will have customer service representatives available to answer all your questions about billing. And that's what Alula is. We're at 1-888-88-ALULA, and you can find us at alula.net. Dave, coming back to you with a question from Daniel Osario. Is this platform compatible with any dealer program, Alert 360 or Brinks dealer programs, for example?
Yeah, so we do have a number of different funding sources available for the product. And, on Alert 360, they do utilize a lot of our products in the program. If you contact us, we can get you in touch with our business development manager that's on the core program dealers. We're not part of Brinks at the moment, but we do have a number of different funding sources, and we could definitely get you connected up if Alert 360 is the program you're in now and get you folded into that mix.
Cool. And then, Adam, a question about cellular. What network technology and provider does the cellular card work on? Is it LTE? Is it Bell? Is it Rogers?
Yeah, so I think this question's Canadian specific with those carriers included in the question. So we're utilizing, as Dave mentioned, the Category M1 technology, and that is an AT&T radio that would work in Canada. I believe the primary towers that it's going to be using is Rogers, and they've done a really good job of building out their Category M1 support for Canada. So you're going to have great connectivity up in the friendly north. As far as the United States is concerned, we're utilizing both AT&T and Verizon for that Category M1 technology.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Thomas. Always great to hear from our neighbors to the north. Dave, Dennis has another question. He had several Alula products. Some are interactive. Is that what we mean by Alula Connect?
Great question. I suspect what Dennis is asking about, you might have familiarity with our BAT CDMA or BAT LTE products. We still are shipping the BAT LTE. We're moving everybody over to the BAT Connect. That's the latest and greatest communicator from us. If you've done interactive in the past, it really looked more like a remote keypad. Did not have a lot of really any automation capabilities. We launched video, but most of our former communicator offerings didn't use that. So we now have a much more comprehensive interactive platform that you saw that Adam kind of walked through during the webinar today. From a dealer management portal, if you've been with us for a while, you probably use what's called Alarm Dealer. It was a very retro software platform. And we've now come out with a Alula Connect, which is a completely different user interface for the dealer portal. It scales down to phones and tablets, so you can actually use it in the field. And I highly recommend any accounts you have on now, you can go to alulaconnect.com, use your same credentials to log in and manage your devices through that and get experience with the latest and greatest interactive or management portal offering.
I really urge you guys all to check out Alula Connect. It really is going to help your business, and it's a much more robust experience than alarmdealer.com. Adam, I've got a question here from, and I'm going to apologize in advance if I don't get this name correct, ACIEY, Asia. He or she is asking, can the Slimline touchpad stream any IP video feeds on the home network?
Yeah, so this is actually a very timely question. This month we're releasing video to touchpad on the Slimline touchpad. So it's one of the I guess the benefits of, as we talked about, with vertical integration, being able to innovate and upgrade field hardware with the services as well as the new products that are shipping out the door. So this month we're rolling out video to touchpad. It will be a very consistent experience between the mobile app to the touchpad. So the customer on their mobile app to the touchpad will have very similar experience with video. If they have a doorbell camera, there's a pop-up when the doorbell button is pressed that lets you start a two-way voice conversation. But it's going to have two-way audio with all the cameras. You're able to adjust your motion sensitivity areas as well from there. So it's a lot of capabilities with video to touchpad that we're rolling out this month. So we're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it is an exciting thing, Adam, and you hit on it with that. When you pair the Slimline touchpad with that video doorbell, it really changes your security experience. And as you mentioned, when they press that doorbell, you get a pop-up. It asks if you want to start a two-way communication. You're immediately talking to your visitor. If it's someone that's delivering a package, you can tell them just leave the package there. You don't even have to go down and answer the door. So it really, really, really enhances both products to have that pairing. Dave, question from Chad regarding the Interlogix rebate. He's asking how to get involved with that. I pasted a link there in the chat, and I can do so again. But Dave, could you talk a little more about that Interlogix rebate and how it works?
Yeah, we have a couple of rebates rolling: Interlogix rebate and then a sunset rebate. And for Interlogix dealers, basically, if you're coming off of having installed Interlogix, we're trying to help. There's cost and time associated with transitioning to anybody, and we recognize that. And it's unfortunate to see any company close down, despite the fact that we kind of compete with them. We'd like to have options in the marketplace, and they have a long history, and it's tough to see anybody go. But to help compensate for that, we're trying to provide a rebate. Hopefully, it'll help you offset costs with training, technician training, and inventory turnover, et cetera. And it varies a little bit, anywhere from $25 to $50, depending on the configuration of systems you're installing. So look on the website; you'll get all the details. Easy to sign up and register, and we'll get you rolling.
Yeah, and while you're talking about those rebates, Dennis hit on something. I'm going to paraphrase here. He's talking about sunsetting. He's got about 40 units that are in the field that are vulnerable to that 3G sunset. Dave, what do you do if you're a dealer out there? How can we help them out?
In terms of the sunset rebates, I'm sorry on the question.
Yep, sorry. Let me clarify that. If you have a dealer out there that's got a number of units in the field, what's the best Alula product that we should steer them towards? And how can we make it as affordable as possible for them to deal with this kind of volume?
Yeah, when you're facing sunsets, I mean, we call it our Connect family, and it's everything from Bat Connect is probably the most likely for most of your sunsets. That's the product that bus connects to all of the traditional architected, Honeywell DSC systems. We have the Connect XT for Simons, as well as even swapping it out with a Connect Plus and a translator card so you can leave all the sensors in place. We have those options available for you. All of them apply to the rebate, and depending on what services you add, from basic cellular to interactive with automation to adding video, you will again be able to qualify for a rebate. And we currently have our communicators on promo pricing. They're under $100 after rebate. You'll be well under $50. And we have a number of dealers that, because you can add touchpads to our Bat Connect product, they go in to their customers and say, we can replace one of your keypads with this new touchpad while we're doing the cellular upgrade. The touchpad's only, $149. We sell it to you. You make margin on that. You can pay for your sunset just by putting a touchpad in and replacing the keypad. So we have a number of tools in place between technology and rebates that are going to help you be very successful in addressing your sunset business.
Cool. Adam, here's a fun question from Jesse. He says, we have accounts on alarmdealer.com that use IP data tel devices. Does that mean that we are already partners with Alula?
Yeah, Kevin, it does. So Jesse, I would encourage you to actually go to alulaconnect.com and you can log in with those same credentials that you use at alarmdealer.com. You can log into alulaconnect.com and get into our new updated more aesthetically pleasing partner portal that's going to be where we build out more and more functionality. So I would steer you there. I'd also steer you towards reaching out to us. We can get you in contact with your representative who would be able to go into more detail on the latest and greatest that we have at Alula. But yeah, you definitely are currently a partner.
Yeah, and partnership with Alula has its benefits. I would also encourage you, if you're a Facebook user, to check out the Alula Pro Forum. It's a great group of our partners who are out there helping each other out with technical questions, with marketing questions, discussing the product. It's a great resource for crowdsourcing among fellow Alula dealers. And we will be having very shortly, within just a couple weeks now, we will have some Alula partner programs that we're very excited about that you guys will all have access to, and we'll discuss those on future webinars. So we've got so another question comes to us from AC. I had pronounced her name or his name, I'm sorry, incorrectly the first time. It is AC Canty. With this question, I'm going to send it to you, Dave. Great to hear there are no activation costs. Interlogix had one interactive service fee that included all the services, i.e. video and Z-Wave. How does Alula charge for their services?
We have a very simplified model, so it's a little different than what existed with UltraSync, at least the way I understand it. There was an activation fee, and from what I know, IP connectivity was free or built in as part of the activation fee, and then you'd pay for cellular services as you added that in. We do have programs for those that have been dealing with builders where we basically build our base automation service fee in as part of the purchase of the equipment. And then as you start to add full remote interactive for security and central station reporting and cellular services, there's a monthly fee. Our fees are basically broken down for a level for IP connected devices, cellular connected devices. There's a small adder if you add home automation features. It does not restrict the number of automation devices. It's just an automation fee. And then you add in video, and the video is typically sold on a number of clips stored. So 1,000 clip buckets. You can do as many buckets as you want, and there's a small fee for the storage of the video clips. So basically an IP level, a cellular level, add for automation, and then a video package based on the number of cameras and number of clips. Those are the four buckets, and we're happy to work with those dealers that are in builder programs that are including automation as part of the base kit offering, and we've had success with a number of UltraSync dealers in helping them cover that gap. So contact us, tell us your situation, how you go to market, and we'll find a path to make it work for you.
Great, Dave. And I'm going to keep with you for this next question. It's a little bit tricky. You'll never hear Alula badmouth our competitors. We only just want to make sure you have the information out there. But Dennis is basically looking to transition to a new platform, as a lot of Interlogix dealers are. He's looking at Alula and he's looking at NAPCO, and he says he likes Alula more. Dave, maybe you could compare our services and what might differentiate us from that other option?
Yeah, in terms of cellular, I'll just say communicators that can retrofit. NAPCO's made some great strides lately. I think they took lead with fire communicators and expanded into other markets. They've been very aggressive on their marketing and their rebate pricing structure. I understand their rebates can get as very, very aggressive, almost to the point of compensating for the package, but it tends to be doled out monthly over the recurring revenue rates, and the recurring revenue that they charge for the rebate program tends to be the standard list, which is a higher rate than a lot of dealers will end up paying. So what we do is we give the sunset money right up front. You get it out of the gate the quarter following when the rebate is submitted, and then we can net it out where virtually your sunset is covered. And again, as I mentioned, through our innovation, you can add new technology and other upsells, which are very highly coveted by your customers, the touch screen and cameras and video that can clearly create benefits in you going and dealing with your sunset business, increase your recurring revenue, and increase your customer retention rate that way. So I just say, in general, from a technology standpoint, I think we have more upgrade options. We have multiple, more paths of communication. We're on the Cat-M technology, which will carry into the 5G world. We have less current on the bus, so we work in a broader range of applications. And I believe our interactive service platform is more complete than what I've seen out of NAPCO. Their products are solid, and they've had aggressive rebate programs, and they've had success with it. But I really think if you take a deep dive in the way ours is paid out and the tools that we give you, I think you can have a as successful or more successful approach to addressing your sunsets utilizing our platform.
That's a good answer, Dave. Adam, I want to come back to you. This is about interactive services as well, and you're obviously an expert in that category, especially with the onboarding. And Dave touched on this earlier, but just to put a fine point on it, Daniel's asking, what about monthly pass-through rates, interactive services and automation? What are the fees? Maybe you could talk a little bit about that structure for interactive services.
Yeah, sure. So I guess as far as exact fees, I would encourage you to reach out to your representative to talk that through, but I can talk a little bit about how it's structured. So we put it in really your hands. You decide kind of what you're going to be offering on both these services and the hardware side with the modularity functionality of Connect Plus. You can go with an IP-only service plan, which is going to be the most cost-effective. You can add cellular to that for dual path communication. And then you can also add home automation, so Z-Wave control for light blocks, thermostats, garage opener, whatever it may be. And then you can add on to that the video plans that Dave was talking about. So it really depends what you're going to market with. If it's basic security with IP-only reporting, it's going to be a lower price point than if you're adding the cellular backup, the home automation, and video. But we're very, very competitively priced across the board, I think, both from the hardware and services side. But I would encourage you to reach out to your representative. They'd be able to give you more detailed information on the pricing.
Yeah, Daniel, if you have any questions about who that representative is, you can reach out to me, and I'll make sure to steer it to the right person. My email is kevin.hoffman@alula.net. Or if in the comments, the chat, if you want to just let me know what territory you're in, I can be sure to have your rep give you a call and help you out with that. Dave, fun question here from Thomas. He's asking, do you have a similar notification platform such as Smash and Grab?
Oh, great question, Thomas. Yes, we. Well, first off, I'll say, we aren't as susceptible in our architecture to smashing of the panel as what a smash and grab is a feature. Basically, if during an entry delay somebody disarms the panel, you get a notification of that. That's just to make sure everybody's clear on that. And that really came out of the self-contained panel world, where all the brains were sitting right at the entry door, and it was very susceptible to have those panels smashed by somebody breaking in. We actually have an architecture where the brains are internal. The only thing they'd smash at the door would be our touchpad, and the panel will still report fine. That said, we do have, we call it fail-safe, which is basically the same functionality during an entry delay. We will report an alarm event if we lose communications with the panel. I will say, because we have active connections to the panel, the reports are much faster than competing interactive platforms in the market. Smash and Grab or Smash and Dash, whatever it's called, I think is kind of trademarked under the alarm.com world. Failsafe is our version of it. It will report faster than you'd see in other platforms. And I also want to point out, we do compete with alarm.com, but we also do have an agreement with them from this happens to be kind of a litigious world, and there's a lot of concern over features and functions and capabilities, but we've been able to work out and actually get an agreement with some of the bigger players in the world where we cross-license intellectual property so that we can build features fairly freely, and they can leverage features of ours so that we can bring to you, the dealers, the best services and capabilities possible. We all try to innovate. We all try to put our own twist to things, but we definitely are going to be in a position where we can, confidently deliver these to you, our partners, and continue to innovate rapidly.
Excellent. Jose has a question. Adam, maybe you can help him out with this one. He asks, will these new devices be available direct from you, or are they from the distributors?
Yeah, Jose. So we work with most, if not all, of the major distributors out there. So I would point you to your distributor to get the devices, the Alula devices from them. It's probably the easiest path to go. But your rep, again, if you reach out to us, we can point you to your Alula rep who can get you in contact with all the distribution partners that we have.
I think just adding to that, if I could real quick, Adam, I agree. Go to the distributor. Let us know what branch you're buying from and what you're looking to buy. We'll make sure that we can get it on the shelves there as well. I think, our communicators are widely available. Connect Plus is available to all distributors, but we tend to stock it up heavier where we have more demand. So give us a yell, let us know where you are, and we'll definitely get in with those branches and make sure you have the equipment you need.
Cool, Dave. While I got you here, I want to ask another question from Thomas about notifications. He asks, what about real-time notifications, such as door closed 5 minutes ago?
Yes, non-alarm event notifications. That is so first off, you get notifications for all video captured activity, doorbell button pushes, alarm events, trouble conditions, arming and disarming. All of those come through, and they can come through as push notifications, email, etc. In terms of non-alarm notifications, that's a feature we are adding. We're rolling that out. It'll probably be the tail end of this quarter, might push into the beginning part of next year, but you'll be able to basically press on any given sensor and get push notifications for those particular sensors or automation devices. It could be a lock, could be other devices as well. We'll be building on that over time and adding, I'll call it a kind of a time sequenced event buffer capabilities. So you'll see more and more features built out that bring video, automation, and security events and make that available right through the app and through the entire platform. So look for that coming shortly, and love to get your feedback as we get that rolled out.
And Dave, since I have you, I think this is a question that you would like to probably tackle, as it's a pretty timely with the recent announcement we made. Ryan says that he joined the presentation a little late, and better late than never, Ryan, and he's new to learning about Alula. Can you confirm your solution can be used to replace POTS lines? If so, do you have any use cases for commercial buildings using multiple POTS lines, multiple panels and elevators, etc.?
Okay, so definitely to replace POTS lines is plain old telephone system, so it's a phone line. Our products are used regularly to replace phone lines as people move over to residentially or commercially into VoIP and other solutions. We're an ideal offering there because we go over Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and cellular connectivity. All are available. We have a built-in tip and ring circuit on our communicators, so panels that have basically are looking to dial out over a phone line, we can capture all the alarm events and then bring those over an IP network. Let's see, for commercial installations that have multiple panels, so I mentioned, and I think you were going, Kevin, we just did a partnership with Brevo, access control provider, who also has a lot of offerings in the multifamily housing area for access. And we've got an integration and a partnership with their multiple panels coming over a POTS line. I'd like to talk to you about that. So we can support partitions on an individual panel, and we can support communications on any panel looking for a POTS line. I don't have any multiplexer if you're looking to bring multiple panels into a single solution, but I'd love to have a conversation with you about it to make sure I understand it. Shoot me an email, dave.main@alula.net, and I'd be happy to have a conversations with you.
Yeah, Ryan, use that email, dave.main, and that's MAYNE, @alula.net. You've got an expert at your fingertips. Next question, Adam, this is a quick one from Jose. He says, thank you. This is very interesting. I will be in touch. But he might need some Spanish help. What can we do out there for our Spanish-speaking partners?
Yeah, so as far as the mobile application and touchpad is concerned, we currently don't have Spanish support yet. It's something that we wanted to do, and we'll be adding in the future for that translation. I think that's kind of where we're gonna go with it. We do have a number of different languages that we currently support. Spanish is just not one of them yet, but it will be in the near future.
Believe it or not, we have Mandarin and French Canadian already.
Yeah, there's French Canadians there for our neighbors to the north.
That's right. I think Spanish is next on the hit list there.
Excellent. Jose, just stay tuned. And do we have some Spanish-speaking customer service reps that might be able to help them out? Do either of you guys know?
Yeah, I believe we do have some Spanish-speaking reps that can help out. Feel free to dial our number, and we'll do our best to help you.
Yeah, Jose, just call 1-888-88-ALULA, and we will get you to somebody that can help you out. We will not leave any of our partners hanging. Question from Ryan Keith. Adam, since I've got you, let me ask you this one. Do you offer cellular connectivity and invoicing to dealers, or are dealers expected to negotiate rates with MNOs on their own?
Yes, we have our own agreements with the cellular carriers, so you don't have to do any of the negotiating there. We've got that covered. So you would just choose to opt to a cellular card to put into the Connect Plus panel. The modularity comes into play there, right? So you have the IP-only capabilities. If you want to add cellular capabilities, you would just add a cellular card, and then all the invoicing would come from us. So we don't expect you to tackle any of that with the cellular carriers. We've got that covered for you.
Cool. And Adam, while I have you, let me ask you this question from Thomas Herman. Can we download our panels through the Back Connect?
Yeah, so that is functionality that we're working on. There's a lot of remote capabilities that you can do with the Back Connect. We've got depending on the panel type with the Alula Connect, there's different panel settings that you'll be able to change just right from the Alula Connect portal itself. We also depending on the panel type, have virtual keypads. So you'd be able to connect to the system remotely that way, and then downloader support is currently in the works. So a number of different ways to get to the system remotely. So from the Connect Plus to the Back Connect, there's a lot of remote troubleshooting tools that we have for you to limit those unnecessary truck rolls as much as possible.
And we've got another question from David on Back Connect features roadmap. Dave, I'm going to bring this one to you since you own that product roadmap. Any update on Back Connect supporting Interlogix DLX 900 software?
Well, this is another downloader question. So, as Adam mentioned, we have the downloader support. We'll have it on Honeywell and DSC panel, and Adam, that should be out by the end of this month. So, and if somebody needs it right away, shoot me an email, and we'll get you in our test group. The DLX 900 will be coming next, and I don't have a good timeline for it. I see another question coming up on when we're going to have NX panel support. We're looking to get the NX panel and everything by the end of the year, so we'll have NX panel bus connectivity, and we're looking to try to get the DLX 900 software by that time. I think that might push into next year. Some of it just comes down to how well the testing goes. It's a product called UDownloader, where we basically pump all the downloader commands right over the IP network and down into the panel. And it might go smooth, and it's readily available. We might find a couple of enhancements we need to make to UDownloader. We'll know more, and I'll keep you posted as we get into our December testing on that.
Yeah, that question about NX came to us from Richard. So, Richard, thank you for that question, and we were able to bundle it in there with David's. Dave just made a very generous offer if you want to reach out to him to be part of that test group. So I put Dave's email in the chat. So feel free to reach out to him. Just don't add him to any spam lists. Sorry about that, Dave.
I'll get plenty of spam anyway.
Adam, let me ask you a question from AC. Can Connect Plus integrate with hardwired IP cameras?
Yeah, so I guess just to touch on our video camera line, we have 4 different cameras that we currently offer on the Alula platform. So we have the doorbell camera. We have an indoor doorbell camera. Is first of all, the resolution there is 3 megapixels. I think it'd be hard for us to find another doorbell camera with that type of resolution. We have an indoor mini cam, which has a nanny cam look and feel. That's one that you would you can mount it, but you can also move it. It might make sense to have it to where it's a bookshelf or you're moving it throughout the house. We have a 360-degree pan tilt camera. That's an indoor camera, and then we have an outdoor camera as well, a 1080p outdoor camera. So the doorbell camera and the indoor mini are going to be wireless, where you need power, but they would connect over Wi-Fi. And then the 360 pan tilt and the outdoor camera both have the capabilities to be, you can hardwire those with Ethernet cable, or you can they can also connect via Wi-Fi. So you have that flexibility with those 2 cameras.
Okay. Dave, you may have touched on this already, but I want to make sure we get it in just in case. Jesse asks, I am wondering about getting a module that will work with DSC Neo panels, specifically HS2032, that will allow customers to interact with the panel. Dave, what do we have to offer people in that situation?
Yeah, with the Neos, we can't fully bus connect to the Neo today, but we do have tip and ring support for alarm, and then key switch arming is just around the corner here. So you'd have the ability to use our app. With the app, you could add automation. So you'd have all your automation scene control. You could add video right into the app and dashboard, and you'd be able to arm and disarm and see the arming status of the panel. All of those functions are going to be available. I'd love to get a bus-connected device. I have reached out to, if you're a DSC player, I'm working right now with Jennifer Doctor, who works over there, and I don't know that we'll be able to cooperatively get there yet, but definitely open to have conversations. I'd love to work with anybody and everybody out there if we can. Just sometimes it doesn't align. But for now, key switch arming, and we'll give you status and controls, and then you'll have all the automation and video features integrated into the same app, plus full alarm reporting over 3 paths.
Great, and that's going to have to bring this webinar to a close. If you have any questions that we didn't touch on, like I said, you can go to that Alula Pro forum on Facebook. Ask your fellow pros there, as well as some of a lot of our customer care representatives are also members of that group and can help you out. You can always call 1-888-88-ALULA, and you can also find us at www.alula.net. Adam, Dave, thank you both for joining us. It's been very illuminating.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
All right, guys, see you on the next webinar.